what's going on, guys? How you doing? This is EJ Uno, guys, coming back again, guys, with another great video. Trying to position this thing right. Okay, guys, so this video is more about like a rant, more about like, storytelling, and just, going into depths about, the things I do, as far as, how I get phones, how I give like, the news about, how to get these phones, and how I'll be talking about port-ins. So this is like going out to a Boost Mobile store in Dallas, Texas. And actually it's two of them. You know what I'm saying? So first I want to say, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What I'm talking about is porting in like phone numbers to like basically get the phones for, cheap, get them for deals. Never have like, try to like, try to be scheming or anything like that. I literally have gave the message in order for people to save their money. So one day, I'm like 2 days ago, well, yesterday, on Saturday, I was like I went to a Boost Mobile store, and I was trying to like port over my daughter's number to get a iPhone 16e. Now, mind you, Boost Mobile has where it's now where you can get an iPhone 16e for porting in your number, and you get it for $49. Just like if you go to Metro, just like if you go to Cricket and they port in your number. First, I want to say is it's not scheming if everybody's trying to win you back. And me working for a phone company, an internet company, I play the same game too. Now, the thing that gets me is don't take it too serious, because at the end of the day, these type of jobs don't last forever. They're sales jobs, they don't last forever. It's fun when you do it. It's good money in it somewheres, and some places it is and some places not. Don't take it too serious. So I went to one Boost Mobile store, and then the girl there who I had an altercation before had like an attitude, and we had, blase about that. She didn't want to help me out, which I already knew what I was getting into, but I was like, you know what? Let me just try. I knew what it was, so I wasn't even about to stoop to her, fat ass level. So I went to another one, which I thought was like, not so bad. So I came across this guy, and I have like, now I was porting in my numbers. Now I was using my tablet or my smartwatch, both mobile, both 5G. You can port over a tablet number. You can port over a smartwatch number. You can port over a cell phone number. So it doesn't matter. People read too much into thinking that they know about their job. So I was like, okay. And mind you, I have done this plenty of times before. So I get there, I'm like telling the guy, he's like looking at my Metro account because he could see it from, his computer. So I get there and I say, hey, I want to port over my number, which I was giving him the tablet number. He was like, oh, well, we can't do that because it's hooked to a tablet, which he could, but he wanted to be a dick about it. And then I was like, okay, well, I gave him the smartwatch number. No, I can't do that either. So I said, you know what? I want to get the phone for my daughter, just to get the iPhone 16, use the actual phone number that's located with a phone. Then this is where things went turn for the worst. So he was like, as long as it's hooked up to a phone. Now he said it's in the same phrase. As long as it's hooked up to a phone, and I can bring the number over. He saw that it was attached to an iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I don't know, they just type in any type of model. He was like, okay. He was like, I see it's hooked up to an iPhone Pro Max. Okay, you see it. I'm hearing you say it. He's like, I think I should be able to do it. Then immediately, oh no, I can't do it. I said, so what's the problem? Oh, it won't let us do it. I said, can I see that it's not letting you do it? No, you can't see it. I said, dude, look, I work for a phone company. I know you're lying. What's the deal, dude? Why are you giving me such a hard time? People in the back of us, people are waiting. You know, he wanted to be this little young little prick wanted to be like a dick. And I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, let me speak to your manager. So you can leave the store. I said, okay, but I'm saying let me have your manager's number because I'm gonna leave the store, but I'm gonna talk to your manager. No, you can leave the store. I said, you know what? What's corporate's number? I'm not giving it to you. I said, okay. I said, you know what? I said to the side, told other people go ahead, call corporate, call the Boost Mobile store. Immediately after they're talking to me on the phone, he wants to give me her number. Give me her name. He's like, I mean, I'll give you her name. I'm saying so I had to go through all this in order for something that could have been easily done and me be out your way. You wanted to give me her name. So then he was like, if you give me a minute. So he's like purposely trying to help the customers just to try to annoy me and annoy me at the same time. So I said, dude, can I have her name? I'll give you her number right here. So he's giving me her number. He said something like, what? I said, what? I said, it was, oh my God, this dude, I wanted to pound him so bad. Literally wanted to pound him so bad. He was like, here's her number. I said, okay, so what's her name? I just gave you her number. I said, dude, are you an idiot? Why would I call somebody so unprofessional and just call a number and not have a name? First of all, that's what they need to train you. So then he was like, so then I ended up calling him an idiot, telling him he's stupid piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And walked right out. Talked to the manager on the phone, talked to her and everything, tell her she needs to school him. And the result of what I was trying to tell her to tell him is, you got to understand, like I understand. At the end of the day, we got to leave these jobs. At the end of the day, we got to walk out, which means is pissing off somebody nowadays isn't the right thing to do with anybody because people have guns, people don't let things go. People are ready to kill you at any means and think about the consequences later, even if they care about it. I'm trying to tell this boy, you don't know who I am. You don't know what I'm capable of. You got maybe an hour, 2 hours before you close down, and you got to come outside. You don't know if I'm outside. You don't know if I'm some crazy lunatic. You don't know what's going to go on, but you're making something so hard on yourself. In mind you, he was like, "Oh, sir, we have a record of you or something like that." I guess I don't know what he was talking about. So it turns out he was lying. His manager says, "No, it's just because you canceled the line." Why you just didn't say that? So I can explain to you, like I told her, I like being on Metro, and I got a deal on Metro. My daughter wanted to get the iPhone 16, so Boost Mobile was the only one who had it at the deal like that. That was easily said. Like when you miss a part of what you need to be saying, things could be a lot easier. I guarantee you, a lot of people would be here alive in flesh, if they would communicate and say the right things, because you don't understand. It's literally how you say things, which is going to choose how things play out. So I definitely want to make that out there for like the people who are salesmen, people who work in any type of job, people who are in relationships or anything. Communication is a big thing on how you communicate to people, and it's how you say things. It literally is how you say things can change the difference on how things play out. So please be choosy about the words that you pick with anybody in life, because you can probably, the wrong words might be the worst things to do. You know what I'm saying? So worst things to say, not do. Worst things to say. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to tell you about the storytelling that I ran into with this dick of a guy, and this really had to make a video about that. Appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button.